going into game number 1 right now. Mewtwo versus Wii Fit Trainer, a matchup that we are used to seeing very frequently between these two. The matchup where Dill uses 4 moves and stare down. Oh, the dash attack. Dill spacing just out of range. Dill retreating back with the Shadow Ball. Oh, and it walks right into that Sun Salutation. Wow, a great roll read by Numbers. Gonna get that up throw and a whole lot more damage with that side B. Numbers off the stage. I love that fastball down air. You can act out of it so quickly. Oh, and Dill needs to be careful with that. Numbers definitely looking for the down air. Does a side B and does get the spike hit box, which means he does get more damage rather than just getting the soccer ball. Oh, that up tilt could definitely lead to big combos. It has basically the same knockback at almost every percent, so you can definitely get up tilt into up smash at very many percents there. Surprised Dill opted just to go for another up tilt. John trying to beat an approach. Great roll read by Dill, reacting to the opposite side and is de-tilting him. Back air into the ground. We fit back air, definitely her strongest aerial when the sweet spot hits. A whole 14% when it's fresh. Numbers waiting. He's definitely, I've heard from Numbers in the past, he's definitely a little bit afraid of just throwing out Sun, as Mewtwo does have such a solid reflector. Obviously, it is a bit slow, but it does linger for so long. So even with the smallest bit of a missed timing by Numbers, it could be the end of his stock, even at a measly 67%. And now with 79, it will most certainly be so, basically from anywhere on the stage. And that is going to be, oh, a throw by Numbers, but he's going to opt to just double pummel. Oh, and Dill, oh wow, opposite side of the stage. Numbers the most impeccable of DI, and he's going to be able to be living that reflected Sun Salutation. And in fact, what might have saved him there was the fact that he is still healed from firing off said Sun Salutation. And still basic that even, Dill also with the impeccable DI and the Sun Salute. Numbers waiting for the option. Dill goes right above him and just says, I am not going to choose an option which you can punish, de-tilting you onto the floor. Ooh, and Numbers waiting to go back to the ground. Does that little shield drop into the down B. Oh, and a nair? Still not going to be able to take off the top. And Numbers baited that, landing excellently with that down B. Dill tried to fast fall and get a fair or some punish, but Numbers immediately did this shield cancel jump out and was able to get the first stock on Dill, which is so huge in this matchup, but Dill's responding right back with a fair. Oh, and the roll in by Numbers gonna get caught by that detail from Dill. Oh, and barely missing out on that dare. Using the nair to drag him all the way off the stage. Very intelligent by Dill. And without a response from Numbers just yet, leaves at one more roll, gets up throw up air, another up air, back air, completely safe on the shield at that point. And now with a smaller percent gap, we're going to be seeing maybe a bit more of a defensive play from both of these players, trying to preserve what lead they have with everything they got. Only 3% between the two. A great walk back into the grab by Dill, baiting out a grab of Numbers. 63% though, really one hit will allow Numbers to get the lead and a potential the ability to run away. Ooh, and a great reflector by Dill, forcing Numbers to not grab the ledge right there. Oh, wait a minute. Dill forced to recover. Oh, Numbers flips without a shield. Definitely think he would have intended to do an aerial right there. Oh, just barely air dodging out of the way in time. Dill knows not to go under the stage against Numbers, not to mess with that potential header, which could end his stock. An up throw, back throw by Dill. I'm not sure if up throw would have killed in that spot on the stage, but a great wait by Numbers. The slow up B allowed him to get back to the ledge without getting hit. Oh, and what a bait by Numbers as well. Going off the stage and using the Sun Salutation to get Dill out of pressure. Mew detailing the soccer ball. And a header right there is going to allow a little less pressure on Numbers to come into effect. Off throw, not going to take it on Miku just yet. Despite the low ceilings on Town and City, Numbers going to be able to pressure Dill once more on the ground. Oh, the pivot grab just barely missing on that roll. Dill being able to air dodge back to the ground. And off throw by Dill is going to be able to take the first stock in an almost timeout situation.
Wow, that was a fantastic stock. Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi, guys. I just snuck in here.
Aussie's here.
I'm no name. How's it going? Welcome to XenoEightyFive. We just witnessed the first game. I didn't even see who won. Who took that game?
It was Dill with the up throw right at the
Dill,
end.
fantastic. Dill versus John Numbers. It's like we never see that before.
No, never, ever. I did hear John come off the character button, I believe. Unless that was Dill. However, if he is coming off the character button, I would not be surprised to see the very famous, at this point, Vomit Zard. Which he has been opting to go.
Charizard, man. I mean, that's like his own 3.02 favorite, you know?
Yeah.
You know the game. You know the game in between Brawl and Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U? Yeah, you know that game.
That game.
Yeah, he was a big fan of the,
But
what would you call him, a lizard or a dragon? I think he's a lizard, right?
I say lizard.
Yeah, I think if you look at
Vomit, Sewage, Dweller.
Yeah, if you actually look at the physical Pokedex, like, I'm pretty sure it says what
he's
Devin
also called
just said.
Lizardon in Japanese, so I'm going to go ahead and say lizard.
Right, so he's a dragon. So we got John Numbers versus Dill, game number 2. It looks like we're going straight back to Town and City. What can you tell me what just happened that first game?
So
I literally just stuck in
again, a lot of the time in this matchup between these two, Dill only opts to go for a couple of moves. Detail, Shadow Ball, Confusion, and Fair, being obviously Mewtwo's safest pokes again Wii Fit Trainer, and obviously always having a Reflector at the ready to get a lot of Wii Fit options just away from him.
Nice. All right, so we see Dill, rising up with that neutral air, applying a little bit of shield pressure against John Numbers. He's going to play the same game he does time and again, where he just chills off stage, hangs onto that ledge for dear life.
Yeah, and a lot of time he's forced to, just because Shadow Ball does so much damage, and he really can't afford to play it on the stage against Dill, especially when he has the opportunity to reflect a Sun Salutation.
Like we're seeing happen just in front of us. Dill loves reflecting it right back at him. Another thing that we're going to see a lot from Dill is right there, the down tilt. It's going to be a great combo start in order to try to get Numbers off stage or even lead into a kill. The forward air from the Shadow Claw is very powerful. Great DI come from John. He ended up going upwards, so he opted to go for the up air instead.
Right, and over time, as these two have played this matchup, there's been a bit of adaptation in terms of the edge guarding. I've seen over time that Dill has opted to choose Fair over Dare a lot more, just because he wants the damage, and even though it's not going to kill Numbers at the low percents, he ends up getting a whole lot more off it right there, almost taking it.
And Dill loves going off stage and going for those just raw forward airs. Again, you see him trying to apply pressure with the down tilts. Numbers able to jump across it by going for the ledge jump. You see him hippity-hopping all over across the stage.
Yes, Numbers opts to air dodge a lot of the time in the air when he is...
But that was a free pivot grab for Dill. I'm not sure what just happened there, but maybe just a misinput.
Oh, that's going to be... Oh, he opted jab one again. A lot of the time, I feel like you can just straight up grab Wii Fit Trainer in these scenarios, and Dill is just doing a whole lot of jab one and doing, I think, suboptimal options just because maybe a little bit afraid of Numbers on the landing.
Okay, this could be an opportunity for John, but Dill challenging him with that forward air on the edge of the stage, sending him to the top blast zone as we go into our second stock. Again, Dill reflecting that salutation back into Dill's face.
Right.
Numbers' face.
Right, and it does a whole 26%, which is basically as much as a full Shadow Ball. So anytime he does get that, it's just as good. Like, right there, so much
He literally
percent.
buffered it before he even threw it out. He's inside of his head. He's looking for a down air. Oh, almost got a great weave from John Numbers, able to just kind of go to the right slightly to avoid devastation.
And that Fair, that's the thing with Mewtwo Fair in the matchup, is that John can react even out of short hop. What I want to see Dill do a little bit more is do a whole lot of more short hop air dodge into that Fair. A lot more difficult for Wii Fit to challenge because Mewtwo is so close to the ground and how safe on shield that is.
And we're seeing a lot of short hops coming from Numbers, as you said that, but again, he just reflects the sun right back at him. I don't know, how many times did he do that, man?
It was just 3 straight in a row right there at the end. Numbers, really just, I feel like he was afraid the game one and didn't really fire Sun Salutations almost at all, but he was kind of getting frustrated because he wasn't able to get any stocks off Dill, or really a whole lot of percent. And I think in the end there, he's like, I have to do something to get this game back, being down a full stock, and the Sun Salutation is going to be my way to do it. Dill absolutely ready for it and just immediately deflected. That was reactionary. That wasn't even like a buffer. It was
I was just about to comment how the first two looked like they were reads, and that one was
It was
literally John Numbers just fell into an autopilot there. You know, that's just a fall of John. But hey, you know, he's going to move on to winners finals. Dill.
yes.